What's going on, everybody? On this episode of FutureDDS Dental School Experience Series in Season 2, we have Eduardo from Case Western joining us. Eduardo, thank you for taking some time out to join us. If you could, reintroduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and, your journey into dental school, man.
Yeah, I'm really honored to be here. Thanks for reaching out. I always like to help out pre-dents and people going through the same process that I went through. But just a little background about myself. I'm a first generation Latino male. I was born in Miami, Florida. I grew up there, went to school at USF for undergrad, which is in Tampa. I studied health management and I had a bioscience concentration. So I had a mix of like business courses and my core science classes.
Mhm.
And after that, I went in the application cycle of 2018-19.
Okay.
And then I had started right after I finished school, about 6 months after, because I graduated in December of 2018. So, and now I'm here.
Smooth, man. Well, congrats on getting in. We're here now. You reached to the next big milestone. So if you could, man, if you could just tell us a little bit more about Case. One of the big things that I know pre-dental students are looking for is any type of enrichment programs that they might have, or if they have any type of like feeder programs. If you maybe aren't like the strongest applicant, some things you can do to kind of strengthen your application. Does Case offer any of those type of things there?
So what's nice about Case is that as in part of our ASDA, so the student organization, we offer a pre-dental committee, right? We have a pre-dental committee that does as much as it can to reach out to the community, to people coming in for interviews or for people thinking about going into dental school. And then they organize also the pre-dental day, and they're very, very approachable. You can follow us on ASDA, Case ASDA, and then you can talk to anybody that's in the committee and they could easily like set something up for you to help anyone out. And then also, aside from the pre-dental day, we're just very open on social media. Where we love, hearing from future classes.
Yeah.
And I'm also I'm the president of Hispanic Student Dental Association. So
Nice.
what we do is whoever wants to reach out to us, we do kind of like a pre-interview for their interview, kind of get them relaxed. On the days that they maybe come in, we kind of like make it very casual so that they feel relaxed and they can be themselves 100% and do as well as possible.
Man,
So those are some things we offer. Yeah.
yeah, that's perfect, man. I know those jitters when when I was going through my interview process. I'm sure
Yeah.
you do too. You can think
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
that day, man. Actually, speaking about your interview, how was your interview at Case? Like, how did you feel going into it? If you kind of walk me through the day, it was what, last year, so it shouldn't be too
Yeah, yeah.
long ago to walk through. But
Let's see. I interviewed in 2018. I think it was early November, late October,
okay,
probably around then. And it was super casual, super nice. It was one to one. It didn't seem like there had to be any structure. It was really just, talk about yourself and then let the conversation flow.
hmm,
We're not really trying to get you to mess up, or that's what the interview committee does. They're not trying to get you to mess up. They don't want to make you too nervous. They want you to be your true and wholesome self so that, they can get a good idea of who you are, aside from stress and pressure and,
yeah,
just so you can feel comfortable. It was a really, really comfortable atmosphere. I walked in, I was greeted. It was really nice. They gave us a bunch of stuff. We had the admissions director come on and brief us after and then kind of introduce us before. We had our interviews. So how it was broken down into two interviews. I had one that was more about myself.
hmm,
And so it was like a one-on-one and what my qualities were and what I was looking forward to in the career in the school. And then the second one was more based on like academics, like the career and in relation to the school and how the school functions. And they would kind of like tell us how we do things here. And I would kind of like say, oh, I like that. Here's what I think about it. It was, but overall, super, super relaxed. Probably one of my best interviews.
okay, awesome. Another big question that I know a lot of pre-dents are searching the internet, YouTube for is tips on the DAT. and it could be very stressful going into that. What were some of the, or I guess, what was your number one tip or number one resource that you used that either improved your score or allowed you to do as well as you did on the DAT?
Yeah, so I used quite a few, but I mostly focused on one because I knew that there were certain strengths to certain prep courses
Hmm.
for certain subjects. So for the big bulk, I used iPrep, which is a specific one that is really popular down in Florida.
Yep.
It's like a virtual classroom, and they give us like practice exams on practice exams, and it was very, very much like the DAT, if not harder than the DAT.
Okay.
I also did a little bit of DAT Destroyer to do more practice. And the thing that helped me a lot in PAT, I believe, it was boot camp. So I did the PAT in boot camp, and that overall like really helped me a lot, especially in PAT because I wasn't so hot at it at first. With enough practice,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I got through it.
Got you, man. So it seems like a lot of like practice problems and just running through a whole bunch of practice tests and everything. It was
Yeah.
very beneficial. Okay, good, good, good. So you got through the interview. You aced the DAT. You got the score you were looking for. Now you're a first year dental student, man. How has the year been so far? How's your experience been there so far? If you could take
You
us,
know,
I guess the process, from fall.
yeah. It was very natural at the beginning, and it still is kind of natural. Like our school kind of pushes you in a sense to at your pace. You're there for a reason,
Hmm.
right? So you're gonna start off kind of slow, not as many exams, but then the exams start to come up a little bit more often, and then they bring you into the lab portion of it. One big tip I could say about transitioning into the lab is yes, you're going to get frustrated, but not everyone's going to know what to do at the first shot. And a lot of people think that, oh, I was as an assistant, I was this, I was that. I can knit, I can crochet, I can do this, and that. Oh, my hand skills are going to transfer. Not the case all the time, especially
Man,
with me. I play instruments and I was an assistant, and I'm like, oh, I'm familiar. Everyone's going to go through a learning curve. You're not the only one. There's plenty of very successful dentists in the future that have gone through the same thing. So my number one thing is, stay the course. You know, it's almost like the same thing that's been said in sports tons and tons of times. It's a cliche. It's just trust the process.
trust the process.
Trust
I
the
love
process because
it.
it's coming, and one day it's gonna become so natural that you almost feel like when you're working in the sim lab, you can do it with your eyes closed because you have muscle memory. So just patience is the key. Trust the process.
Hmm. All right, man. That's perfect. That's perfect, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't say it any better myself. But
Yeah.
so at Case, after you've been there for a year so far, and I'm sure you've been able to build some relationships and establish some relationships with upperclassmen as well as faculty and everything. What is something that you would say is distinctly unique about Case? What have you felt has been unique about your experience there so far?
Um, I mean, aside from like our own school, I think our school is actually in combination, like under the same building with the med students, the PA students, the nursing students, because our school likes to push a lot the interprofessionalism, and we're like establishing projects now with the other schools out in the community, possibly getting into the fact of like sharing patient information with each other to treat the same patient within the school. So I think that's a real cool thing, like in the campus, I would say, in the whole health education campus. But when it comes to like faculty and students, I thought I lived in a city in Miami that was very diverse.
Yep.
But when I got there, it was like, wow, there's like people from all different types of backgrounds and cultures and talents. And I think, and this might be the case for other schools too, because I haven't attended
Right.
other
Yeah.
places, but
Yeah.
we just gel, we gel really nicely, and that's what I really like about it. And another thing is like we care for each other, and that's really important, at least inside the school.
Man, that's huge. That's huge. Need that
Yeah,
support
for sure.
system. For sure, for sure. So you were saying that you guys kind of do I guess like interprofessional learning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How is how are the classes set up? Are you guys in a block style or?
So It's like normal lecture, just a normal classes by semester.
Okay.
Um, if you would kind of say it's like blocks, so we'll finish one class. So I'll give you an example. This semester we had GI, gastroenterology, and that was the heavy course for the first month and a half. And then the second half it was another one, and then the last half or the last third I would say is gonna be head and neck.
Okay.
So it kind of like we have like a heavy course for each third of the semester,
Hmm.
and then we have like smaller courses plus lab distributed ah, distributed evenly amongst all that. Sorry,
No,
tangled up
you're
there.
good.
um, but yeah, it's when we finish and we do all those classes, we're not necessarily doing them with the other med students or the
Okay.
other disciplines. What we do is we have interprofessional class. So what we'll do is we'll have a patient scenario, and then we all discuss the patient scenario, kind of think about how we would contribute to a team together.
Okay.
What are the recommendations we would make based off of our learning and our experience within our school? And then we would kind of just like have that evaluated by different types of faculty from the different universities and different disciplines. And it kind of helps us get used to that real world experience, which is why I like it. And it's so unique to us.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up here. I just have one last question that I want to ask.
Go ahead.
And if you could go back and tell young Eduardo, tell yourself something while you were going through the whole application process, trying to get into dental school, applying to different schools, picking what schools you wanted to go to and all, what would that one piece of advice be?
Um, so I realized it once I was in the place, like once I was in school, and and I was kind of just like noticing it when I was trying to pick between places. So I was kind of like picking between two and three, and I finally chose this one because it was just the best scenario and the best opportunity. And then when I looked back at preparing and getting to that moment, I said, you're going to end up where you need to be. If you're a religious person, you're going to say, all right, God is going to put me where I need to be. If you're not a religious person, then you're going to say, maybe the work that I've put is going to put me in the best shot to be where I need to be. And that's what I realized once I got to school. I'm like, hey, I really fit in. I really work well here. You know, everything that led up had a purpose, and I'm here where I have to be. So if you keep telling yourself like work hard, do what you have to do. Don't get too overwhelmed. I know there's going to be times where we feel like that, but at the end of the day, I was telling myself, I am where I need to be, and that kind of was like the thing that spread everything, like gelled it out for me.
Man, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, we're here, of course, man. Best of luck going forward. Heading into second, third, and of course getting to clinic and
Yeah, yeah.
all that good stuff. But man, I just want to say thank you again, Eduardo. And
Absolutely.
for anybody out there who has any questions about case or has any questions for you about your journey, I guess what is the best way they can get in contact with you? I guess Instagram or email, whichever one is better.
Yeah, yeah. So my Instagram name is I'll spell it out is DENTIVITA 23. So Dentivita 23. And then like if you translate it directly from Italian, it's teeth life
Got
23.
you.
Yeah.
Every-
So I don't know, I just came up with it and I was like, oh that works.
and
And
man, works it fits you, man. Got to feel natural.
yeah, yeah. And you can direct message me. I'm usually on there if I'm free. If you want to shoot me an email, my email is ejs221@case.edu. And then hopefully I'll get reach out to people and come into contact with some other predents and help them out.
Man, perfect, perfect, awesome, man. Thanks again for taking some time out, of course, for helping us out with this project, and for all of you out there who have any questions for us, Future DDS, or any questions directed for us. Again, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, and comment below. And of course, if we can't answer it, if Eduardo can't answer it, we'll make sure we find the answer for you. Definitely. Head over to Instagram, follow us _ Future DDS, and you can send us a DM there as well. But again, thank you on behalf of the Future DDS community, Eduardo. This
My
is
pleasure.
great, and I'm sure it'll help a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah, my pleasure. Anything to help out, the predents and the rest of the community.
All right, awesome, awesome, man. But that's going to be it. All right, see you guys next time.